Um, yeah. So the last several months have been just crazy for you, I'm sure. And I want to apologize for putting you through the ringer and making you go crazy and trying to throw you off any chance I got. But it was all in the best interest of your own surprise and this big event. I know I promised transparency, and this is exactly what I'm trying to do with this, is give you transparency and show you not only what I've done this whole process and what I've been talking about without being able to tell you, but also sharing it with you, because this has been an amazing experience, but it's also kind of sucked because I haven't had many people to share it with, and the people that I have been able to share it with definitely aren't going to be nearly as enthusiastic as myself or maybe you, because it doesn't directly affect them. So yeah, let's get into it. This is the making of Abigail Marie. So, ever since I can remember, I've always kind of struggled with the idea of like how I'm going to propose. I've always wanted to do something big and something special and meaningful, and I've always struggled with the idea of what can I do that's going to be original and meaningful, but also feasible. And so I was always like, maybe a hot air balloon ride or just something crazy like that, but it's way too subjective, and you can never really plan out that aspect of your life till you meet the girl. Well, I did meet the girl, and it all came to fruition, or I guess it all started with a dream, and the dream was of you and I sailing somewhere. Don't know where, don't know what, it was just a blip. It was just a quick, I seen us both together next to each other sailing. And this was interesting to me because I've never considered myself sailing. I've never even played with the idea of getting a sailboat or anything like that. My idea of boating is power boating on a lake, and you go fishing on it, you come back in for the day, and that's it. Not going cross country or anything like that. And so, I mean, after years of watching the yacht races, I mean, I can't even say I watched them. I know they existed on our lake, but it never was something that I cared about. So this kind of befuddled me, and I realized at that point that this means something. And then I had the inspiration for the proposal, and it just took off from there in ways that I could have never imagined. So obviously, if I was going to make this happen, I had to find a boat. And I scoured the deep, dark webs of Craigslist to find different options that would be in my budget and something that I could afford, but as well as be safe and fun on some bigger waters like the Straits of Mackinac, which so getting the boat, I found one that was slightly over my price range, but I thought it was close, it was convenient, let's go look at it just to start getting an initial idea of what I want. And I get there and the boat's perfect. I mean, it needs work, and the owner acknowledges that he will do all these things to it before it gets sold. Well, I took that as an opportunity to get it cheaper. So instead of him doing all those things, I would for a discounted price. And we negotiated other things into the deal, such as him taking me out and teaching me how to sail and how to use the boat. So those trips to Casnovia, that's where I was going, was to either do things with the boat, or he took Eric and I out to the big lake in Muskegon, and he taught us how to sail on that lake. To make sure that I had good sea legs, I took every opportunity I could to learn how to sail it on our lake, our smaller lake, and so I taught myself how to solo sail it. So I got very confident with the boat and what it could do and how to operate it by myself. So that was nice and relaxing experience, just slowly cruising along on our lake.
Chasing my own dreams, sailing around the world. Please know that I'm yours to keep, my beautiful girl. When you cry, a piece of my heart dies, knowing that I may have been the cause. If you were to leave, fulfill some.
So after the sail on the lake in Muskegon, I took it home. Well, I took it up north at that point to the storage facility that you were at with me, having no idea why we were there, and parked the boat there, and that's where I started doing the renovation of the boat. So renovation as in cleaning out the interior, every nook and cranny, getting some of the water that was in it out, refurbishing the wood, polishing the hull, getting rid of the oxidation, the dirt and the grime, just getting everything squared away, making it my boat, or our boat, honestly. So yeah, polishing of the hull, refinishing of the teak, cleaning the interior, installing a chart plotter, redoing the electrical, fixing some of the leaky spots in the cabin, everything to make sure it was going to be a safe, secure vessel for us to go out on these bigger waters.
One, two, three, four. I wish I could do better by you, 'cause it's what you deserve. You sacrifice so much of your life in order for this to work, while I'm off chasing my own dreams, and sailing around the world. Please know that I'm yours to keep, my beautiful girl. And when you cry,
To really make the boat ours, I knew I had to personalize it, and every good boat deserves a name. And so at that point, it was a no-brainer for me to name it Abigail Marie, just because I know how much you hate it when I call you that, but you also know how much I love calling you by your full name. So I feel like that's a decent trade-off, is you can call the boat Abigail, and I guess you can stay Abby. So I had the graphics, I designed the graphics and had them custom made, and they came in and installed them. It went swimmingly, and I think they turned out very good. And I think the name is super fitting to the boat and what it is in the situation. It's eloquent and it's beautiful, and I've always felt that about that name, regardless of the person that it is bestowed upon. Also with the personalization, I obviously had to figure out a way to propose with you. And my instant, I've seen, like if you look up online, you can find different people's proposing on boats or doing different things, but having a personalized sail made just for one person's proposal was nothing I even found anywhere. And so I knew instantly that's what I wanted to do. And then I tried to find places that sold sail letters, and to no prevail found any. They're all for racing and racing numbers and just didn't look right, or couldn't get them readily. And so I was kind of at a loss of, all right, I'm either gonna have to make these or do something that won't look that great. And then I was like, I'm gonna make one last reach out to some bigger companies that do custom sail graphics and make custom sails and all these other things. And figuring that they wouldn't want to put time into my little request, as well as fit within my budget. So I reached out to North Sail, and told them exactly what I wanted to do, and they were instantly on board and came up with some beautiful renderings that right off the bat were exactly what I wanted and were below what my budget was. And so I was beyond ecstatic that I had found exactly what I needed. I was a little nervous about the deadline and them getting it to me on time, but they did. And it was a little tight, but they managed.
Can I take you to a moment where the fields are painted gold and the trees are filled with memories of the feelings never told? When the evening pulls the sun down and the day is almost through, oh, the whole world is sleeping, but my world is here. Can I be close to you? Can I be close to you?
So once the sail was put together, we had to test it. And by test, I mean taking it to Mackinac and actually going out on the straits and going through the whole plan, because all of this was just made up in my head and I had to make sure it would work. So this is where Eric and I, this last weekend, went up there, just him and I. So we weren't up north. Well, we were up north, just we were further north than the cabin. Went up north and did the whole thing from setup to takedown. We sailed across the straits. We went over to Arch Rock, and I'm so thankful that we did. I mean, we had to brave some very big waters that I'm not used to, and definitely pushed the boat to its max. But I'm also thankful for those waters and the safety that we had, because it gave us the confidence in the boat and in ourselves that we could make it through those kind of waves. But once we got to the location, it was all smooth sailing. I went on shore, Eric stayed on the boat, and we practiced near Arch Rock. And at the main lookout is where we initially did it, and it just was too crowded, and I knew that might be a problem. And I mean, it was not the ideal location. And so he made a mention of just a little bit off to the left, or the north, there was a second lookout where he saw people even higher up than where I was. And so I went over there, and it was perfect. It was better vantage point, it was more secluded, and it was more intimate, because I knew that was something that was important to you, is you wanted it very personal and not super public. So I wanted to give you something special, but also not want to make a big deal out of it. So now we have the location, we have the routine come up with, and everything is underway. So we set sail back to St. Ignace and braved even bigger waves, but luckily this time we're facing head on, and so it was a little bit more manageable. I was having a good time, but Eric wasn't. We got back to the marina and grilled some steaks and hung out on the boat and enjoyed some boat life and got some drinks and watched some fireworks, and it was amazing. It was, like I said, an amazing experience, and I'm super excited for you to experience it as well this weekend, and I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you enjoy everything that I've done, and that you see that I've tried to aim all of this focus on you and something that I think you would like. So I think that was a lot of the reason why I got that little dinghy sailboat going, is so hopefully to see if you enjoyed sailing. And after a little traumatization, I think you truly did a little bit. There's aspects I think you're still nervous, but I also appreciate your courage in wanting to get in the boat that you didn't fully trust, with the skipper that you didn't fully trust because he's so new to sailing. But I think I can see us having a hobby in this, and if not, oh well, but if so, I'd be super excited if that's what we end up doing together. So I really do hope you appreciate everything that I've put into it and see that it was all for you, and you came first in all of the thoughts for this. It wasn't just an excuse for me to buy a boat, but instead it was an excuse for me to put all of myself that I had into you. And so it didn't come without sacrifice, but all of the sacrifices made were worth making. So yeah, I hope we can have an amazing rest of the weekend here up in Mackinac, and I really hope you enjoyed everything I've done. I'm sure you're gonna have a million more questions, and I can't wait to hear what you thought I was planning this whole time. But I love you, and I'm just beyond excited that I was given this opportunity to love you and love you in this way, and in a way that I've truly enjoyed. And I'm kind of sad to see it's over, but I'm also really glad that I get to see it through in just a couple of days. So yeah, let's have a great rest of our night, and just really, just rejoice in the fact that we're finally to the point that we've been talking about. The only thing next is marriage. So yeah, that's it.